I'm Dan for Sub FM and I'll be interviewing Nathan Haines. You've been with jazz music and in fact the Tauranga Jazz Festival for quite some time. What motivated you to get started into it?
My father, Kevin Haines, is a jazz musician. He's also playing at this festival. He started playing here in the mid-60s.
Okay.
I first played here in the mid-80s, 85, 86. And I was with the North Shore Youth, Northcote College Big Band.
Okay, yeah.
I think they were playing this as well. They awarded me Young Jazz Musician of the Year when I was 13. So that's how long I've been coming down to this festival. The last time I played was 4 years ago when I played with a 12-piece string ensemble. We played in the Trinity Church, I think it was. But you know, I have a deep affection and a long history with the Tauranga Festival.
Yes. While preparing for this interview, I was listening to your album Heaven and Earth.
Yeah.
The second album, that's actually the first track, Desert Town.
Yeah.
Really like that one.
Yeah.
What's your favourite track on the album?
Well, I do like Desert Town. I don't know. I guess you sort of. It's hard to think of it. I guess I like all of them. I love the vocal tracks. I love Pathway. I love Vanessa's track. It's all right. You know, I love the track I wrote with my brother, Heaven and Earth. I mean, I like it all. I sort of don't want to single out anything, but you know, I don't want to dwell too much on that. I mean, obviously the record only came out 2 weeks ago, and I sort of spent my life, the last year of my life making it. But I guess the big difference with Heaven and Earth is that it's all live. There's no beats on there. It's actually all recorded. When I say live, I don't mean all at the same time, but it's live, bass and drum. Some of the tracks, the 90, the last track, for instance, we're all playing together. So you know, it took me a long time to sort of get up my production chops, so to speak, to get to the level where I can put a band in the studio and it sounds how I envisage it in my mind.
It turned out good. I really like it.
Cool.
Thank you. What was it like to be asked to perform for Lawrence de Laglia?
How did you find that out?
I got ways.
Well, I was living in London at the time, and he was getting married, and they put a load of CDs in. For some reason, they chose my CD, and it was at in Lake Como, in Italy. And he was a lovely, lovely man, and he came up to us afterwards and said, you know, thank you so much for playing music. But I guess, he's not a personal friend or anything. But I guess that, you know, that's been my life. I guess it's playing in lots of different situations around the world. Obviously doing gigs like we're doing tomorrow. We do a lot of private gigs, like for instance last night we were playing for the Rat Party for a Disney film in Auckland.
Oh, yeah.
So you know, you get lots of different gigs. But I guess the main thing for me is just to put the vibe out there and the music out there, and then the gigs will come.
How'd you find moving to New York?
Well, I was 19 years old. It was 1991. Well, it completely, absolutely blew my mind. I learnt off George Coleman and Joe Lovano, and of course, more importantly, I just got into the whole scene of young musicians there at the time. And more so than that, it was just more about growing up. And you know, when I arrived, I was completely naive, completely naive. And in a city like New York, I was living in East Village on 4th between C and D, which at that time was just incredibly gnarly, incredibly drug dealers in every corner. Just, I mean, all the cliches, but it was actually true back then, at that time. But I feel very honoured that I was able to live in New York at that time, because that was the very end of the old New York, because when Giuliani came in, you know, sort of 5 or 6 years later, he cleaned everything up. And I was back in New York 2 years ago. I went down to my old neighbourhood and I couldn't believe it was the same neighbourhood. Because when I lived there, it was a war zone. But it was incredibly funky, and it was just amazing people, and just, you know, this mishmash of amazing cultures and music, obviously.
Okay, cool. What can people expect to get at the Global Breakthrough Experience tonight and tomorrow?
I would say that they're going to hear the width and breadth of my musical life, and also my musical family, which is Mike Pato, Vanessa Freeman, Kevin Martrail on vocals. They're going to get the whole thing. They're going to get the good, the bad and the ugly. And they're also going to get have some good times, because we're not introspective musicians. Our music is very inclusive as opposed to exclusive. We like to include everyone in what we do, and we're not a seated gig. It's very much a standing thing. There's a lot of emotions going on. I'm looking forward to it too.
Okay, where to next? What's in the future?
Well, I guess working on this record. I was in 2 weeks in Indonesia playing for the Java Jazz Festival. We came back, we went to Rio. It's been very busy. But I guess just carrying on with the new stuff. I'm off to Japan and China in June, a tour of Italy and UK around October, November. And I'm also producing an album for Kevin Field, who's an incredible piano player. So, yeah, man, just onwards and upwards, just learning from what we've done and putting that back into the music, and just trying to do good gigs.
Cool. Oh, okay. Thank you for that. Very cool.